Hey, Soul Survivors. This is an update on the rice experiment. So I had purchased some mason jars, got a bag of rice. I spent like 20 bucks to see if this was true. I saw on the internet that if you take a mason jar filled with rice and fill it with hate and you have a loved one, uh, where you give it positive affirmations, things like that. And I made a control jar of rice and I started doing it where I'm yelling at this jar of rice and it's supposed to turn brown. So I'm yelling at it. I'm trying to comfort my dog because I'm giving it so much hate for like 5 minutes. And then I give the other one some love and I just leave the other one as a control. So I don't like yelling at things. So I did it for a while and then I just kind of let it sit for a bit. And I'm like, do I have to yell at this? It never told me how long I'm supposed to do it. And I did it for like a week. I started March 23rd and I did it for like a week and then I just let it sit. And I kind of gave up on it. I'm like, I don't see anything changing. Probably should have done it for a full month, but I decided I need to clean up, get this rice out of the jars. And um I opened the first two, the love and the neutral, and it just smelled like starch. It just smelled like regular rice. And I'm like, this is dumb. So I open the hate one and it gets a pop. Now, the other two didn't pop and they're filled the same amount, but there was something building up inside or sucking in, either way, however you want to look at it. But the other two didn't smell and this one did. Now, I don't know if it would have turned brown if I had waited longer or if I had yelled for a continuous amount of time for a month or two or three. Unfortunately, I gave up on this experiment, but that is the findings that I had of the pop and the smell. They were cooked at the same time, they were the right temperature. I let them stay open so, the heat would dissipate. So it was cold rice that I put away. And, the purpose of this experiment was to see negative energy because they say that negative energy is absorbed in things. And you see people who talk about plants. They've done certain experiments. Now, unfortunately, you have people who will discount things. I researched other people. They say that the rice thing worked. Other people say it didn't. I tried to have it as controlled as possible. Unfortunately, I gave up. I felt really dumb and I paranoid that my neighbors are gonna fuck you, you motherfucker. And I'm like, like I don't want my neighbors thinking I'm going crazy. And but it was really interesting that there was some kind of reaction. So I don't know if any of you have ever done that kind of experiment. Comment below if you have, if you've ever done experiments like with plants, because our environment sometimes does affect us. The words that others say affect us. And it was all a exchange of energy type thing, like the vibrations. I did it more controlled. Other people said, if you're yelling at an open thing of rice, of course you're going to be heavier breathing, might spit accidentally, and that might have some bacteria in it. So mine was controlled, mine was sealed. And I don't even know if you're supposed to do it that way, but that's how I did it. And regardless of that, plants, they say, does make them grow better. I don't know, but with the energy that we get from our narcissist, we get the huffs, the puffs, the silent treatment where we feel like we're dead because it's so disrespectful. It gets us off kilter and we just want to connect with them. We want to connect sometimes too much, which pushes them away. It's a game because they feed off of it. It gets really confusing with narcissistic relationships because they're so out there. We also don't know how to interpret them because so much of it is a lie. And the energies that we absorb or feel around people, it's amazing that we get vibes off of people. We know sometimes when we're in danger, there are certain people we can tell are off. Unfortunately, as we evolve through, becoming where we have to be socially acceptable. You have to be kind to this person. You have to say hello. You have to do this. You have to do that. That we don't know the true person. And with all the traumas, people like to lash out. Poor communication. Unfortunately, the narcissist, doesn't communicate the right way, they take things defensively. So everything to them seems like an argument when it's not. And when they come back with that negative energy because they twisted it into negative energy, they feel attacked, but they attack back. So it happens during the discard stage that they are fighting for control because they don't feel in control. And they are not happy within themselves. We have to be careful when we're not happy when we're not happy with ourselves, because we will attack back sometimes as that reactive abuse, and it all gets negative and it just fills the relationship with toxicity, and that will change the situation. That energy becomes negative, just like that jar of rice. Something happened with that jar of rice. I don't know exactly what, but it had that pop, and it also had a pretty extreme odor that didn't make it rancid. So sometimes little things, um, each little trauma in the relationship that isn't handled, isn't brought back up to a healthy state, is just going to keep destroying the relationship, infecting it, causing it to be worse instead of healed. And the narcissist brings us down that cycle where we're trying to get out of it. And, you think about people who have certain medical issues, they can decide to take care of it, or they can decide to possibly have it take their life. And unfortunately, the narcissist picks for the destruction of the relationship, whether it's because of fear of abandonment, not knowing how to handle the situation. A lot of times they think it's like so foreign because they don't have that empathy. Because they don't have the empathy, they don't understand it. So they take it as an attack. It makes them uncomfortable. They're trying to become comfortable. And so they lash out. But that is the update on the rice experiment. I wish I waited longer. I don't know if I want to do it again. Comment below if you want it done again. And I guess I'll yell at rice for you guys. I already spent the money. But man, I wish I had more concrete answers for you, but it was kind of an unexpected outcome. I expected them all to be the same, and all three were not the same. The hate one was different. What do you think about that? I'm kind of astounded. I thought I would just would let that experiment go. There was something to it. I don't know. Have you guys experienced that with your plants or something where you saw an exchange of energy made a difference? And also too, I wonder, certain houses that you go into are just filled with negative energy. Why is that? Do the walls absorb the negative energy? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.